Specific regards to the city manager, I'll note, it is the sole discretion of the city council per state statute on a simple majority vote who is or is not the city manager. That is the sole discretion of the council. That is the only city employee that we have direct discretion and direction over. And it's the prerogative of the city council at any time to change that city manager if we see fit or if a council sees fit. The previous city manager was fired for no cause, was not performing to what the city council at the time and at this time wanted. Now we have an absolutely fantastic city manager. I led the effort to do the open, transparent, full-bore hiring process for our new current city manager, and we are making great strides in the city of Longview.
And I guess I would start with the fact of the ill-fated Kris Swanson firing. As my opponent stated, they fired her for no cause, which just means she didn't do anything wrong, but she didn't fit a particular political agenda, and so she had to go. And it is the prerogative of the council, as per state, to be able to do that. But what they did in the process was they ignored her contract, which required a supermajority of 5, and they only had 4 to do that. City attorney warned them it was going to cost the city a lot of money if we did that. And they went ahead and did it anyway, and we're into that program for the, somewhere upward of $750,000 between her settlement and the subsequent settlements and some legal issues that came up from that. And that's still ongoing. And my opponent voted for the city, us citizens, to pay for his legal bills in those court proceedings. Now that's not right. We do have a wonderful city manager and a great staff, and they have to put all of the stuff that they normally do aside so they can work on some of these culture war issues, like fluoride.
Yeah, a couple of things here, just for clarification. It's not $750,000 in settlements. The former city manager received what she was entitled to per her contract that the previous council, or that the current council offered at the time of the proposed severance. Not $750,000. It's absolutely false information, and it's absolutely dangerous and divisive to peddle that information. But going back to the city manager issue, I think it's incredibly divisive to continue to say that the council violated the law. Regardless of what that contract said, the city government and the city council of any city has the authority to change that. It is not my fault that the previous council gave a sweetheart deal on a sweetheart contract to somebody that contradicted the requirements under state law. So, thank you
for that.
But they did the city manager did have a contract, and they violated that contract when they fired her. And in spite of what he says, her settlement wasn't near $750,000. But when you add the subsequent settlements and the law issues and all of that ongoing thing that's still ongoing, we're still paying as a city, as citizens, we're still paying for his legal defense. And that isn't over yet. That all hasn't even happened yet. Okay? So to say that's disingenuous is disingenuous. It's not true.
If I may, Mr. Futcher, very briefly.
Real quick. But.
Very, very quickly. It's interesting to know how my opponent knows so much about information that could possibly need to have come from executive session when my opponent is not on the council. Additionally, the city attorney did not advise publicly on any action. It is interesting to note the city attorney stood by on the opposite side of the room and offered no help at the time of the firing.
Mr. Nichols, you want to read? I'll give you
None of
the
that
same
is
amount
true.
of time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well.